Greetings, fandom. My name is Andre, and for this video, I plan to talk about one of my personal favorite video game companies. Something that I have grew up on playing their consoles and games when I was a kid. Nintendo. And I want to say this now because I've heard of the recent news that Nintendo has officially discontinued the 3DS, and I have to respect their decision. But the 3DS was one of my very favorite consoles that they've given out so far. As you can see, I've had double duty. I bought these two, DS and 3DS, over the course of this very long period of quarantine, and I've actually managed to get back to my past life and play all of those games that I've missed out on for so many years because the old console that I had actually broke eventually, because like the thing is actually had this same model when I was a kid, same model, same color, and the thing is I was playing it as a kid, and back during my childhood I tended to do very reckless things with my Nintendo DS, and it only lasted 5 years. Eventually it broke. 7 years later, I managed to buy a new one, this 3DS, and like one of the same model. I'm doing double duty right now. Apparently this one here has recently ended support. You may be dead system wise, but like always remember that like I'll take very good care of this one. Speaking of taking very good care, apparently the previous owner of this console obviously did not take very good care of this one. Well, not like I did, but unlike before, I'll keep my word to always handle my console with care. Hold on, I'm gonna show you. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, clearly the 3DS has been tended very well by the previous owner. Everything looks good so far. Yeah. The buttons, the controls and all that, pretty much everything is fine there. But this one, yeah, clearly there has to be some sort of explanation here, because like the touch screen barely displays some stuff. I actually did a long play of Mario Kart this one time, and like during that time the touchscreen kind of still works, but right now the more you play with it, it just stops. Like it just doesn't show anything anymore, and that's literally what happened. And I personally do not know who the previous owner of this console is, but whoever they are, they clearly did not take very good care of this console. And so I'll have to be the one to do that part. Alright, let's display this example through one of my personal favorite games, Mario Kart. And so, yeah, this is what the title screen is supposed to look like. I actually contacted a repairman who is actually kind of far from where I live. He did say that like the main issue with this one is like the system's LCD, and so I actually have to like check it out on that one. I already paid him. They did say they did say that they'll have to like wait for the LCD kit to be delivered to them before I actually get there. But considering the quarantine protocols that's like happening right now, I think it'll be quite hard to actually get there, but like we'll see about that. The thing is, like, the touch screen barely displays something, but like it still touches though. Look, yeah, yeah. See, when I touched it, it went back to the main menu. I think this part here says single player. I mean, if you guys have personally played Mario Kart DS, you would know which part here says which. I think this one says single player. Single player, right? Hold on first. Hold on. Yeah, it still touches. Yeah, single player. And then, yeah, versus. Yeah, yeah, it still works. I think this is Toad. I'm a select Toad by touching here. Yeah, I remember exactly where the locations of like the character tiles are, because I've played this game for so long. Another issue with this one is like the A button. I've actually played Mario Kart DS for like the previous 2 to 3 hours. That's why it's red now. It's currently on low battery because like I've done another long play of Mario Kart DS. And another issue with this one is like the A button. Like I don't know why. While I was driving during the gameplay, the A button started to not work. And like I know many of those people who are avid players of Mario Kart who also encounter these kinds of issues. Like there are some times when they mesh the A button too hard, and when that happens, whenever they hold the A button, it sometimes doesn't work. You sometimes don't go forward with your cart, and yeah, I kind of relate to that situation because like I'm guessing the previous owner of this console also played Mario Kart and also held on to the A button for too long and pressed it way too hard. And that was also me when I was a kid. And my console faced the same problem too, but like the difference is that I wasn't able to like get it fixed, let alone get the motivation to get it fixed. But like now that I have taken the responsibility to take care of both of these, even though both are secondhand, and even though both are like bought from their previous owners, I gave a promise to their previous owners that I will take very good care of these consoles. It's a way of respecting who the previous owner is, and the fact that you've spent good money on these consoles will already be understood that you'll have to take that responsibility to take very good care of them. Also, not just Nintendo, but like every console owner in general. Cause like what's the whole point of buying a console if you're not gonna take very good care of it anyway? Am I right, guys? Yeah. Like this 3DS is nothing for so far, but like I promise to like if ever you two get any in-game problems, or like any problems regarding the display, regarding the buttons, I will fix you both, as well as all of the future consoles that I'll be buying, specifically the Wii U and the Nintendo Switch. But like I don't think Nintendo will be manufacturing any new consoles for the time being. Like they're going to stick to one console, the Nintendo Switch, for quite some time. I mean, I personally think that like the Nintendo 3DS could have stayed longer, but I'm guessing it's because it ran out of demand. That's when they had to discontinue it, which I think is a very sad moment for all of those people who have enjoyed the 3DS and the DS era. That would be me. And yeah, that's all I can say for this part of the video. So that was it for that part of the video. For this part of the video, I'm going to explain to you, the viewers, as to why I personally like Nintendo over all the other still ongoing video game companies like Xbox, Microsoft, PlayStation, with from Sony, and yeah, I would rather very much stay at Nintendo for the first reason being the fact that like the control buttons are something that I have actually already grew on, like uh, the mechanics of how the buttons press, how the games work on those kinds of consoles, especially if we're talking about the exclusives, Super Mario, Pokemon, Kirby, Donkey Kong, Legend of Zelda, you name it. But like, yeah, um, something that like I've really gotten used to, and the main, moving on to the main reason is because like it's taken up most of my childhood. Okay, like I know most of you gamers would rather prefer PC or PlayStation, but me, nah. That isn't my taste. And like actually like those kinds of like competitive gaming, as in like the ones that mainstream media generally likes, um which are the ones that mostly PlayStation has already taken over, is not really my taste. Like I know there are those kinds of games that are like given uh different audience ratings depending on which type of audience should be able to play those games. And I miss those times when video games were just very light themed, very light-hearted, just for well, usually just exclusive for kids. Back when video games was just the very simple type, and not the very sophisticated type that that older people like teenagers and adults would appeal to. That wasn't something that was really considered as my type. Definitely not. Unless it's got a good story, then yeah, I would probably catch up to that. But anything else? No. Uh it's something that like uh I've never really gotten out of. It's a boss that I've never really gotten out of. Now, moving on to the third reason. The third reason is because Nintendo has been there ever since the first generation of video games. Like, ever since the whole concept of video games already started, Nintendo was already there. Don't believe me? You can look it up. I did. And so, yeah, you can feel free to check that one out yourself, and only to realize that yes, Nintendo was part of the very first generation of video games, and I personally feel very honored to be a part of that huge legacy that Nintendo has given for the past few decades or so. And I'll be honest, Nintendo and their games made up a huge part of my life, and I'm forever grateful for that. Uh, I may not be able to buy the Nintendo Switch very soon. Like, once I get the money, and once this pandemic is over, which I think will be very far from now, I'll be catching up to most of my friends. Most of my friends who also had Nintendo consoles. We were very young back then, and we started our very small group of people who had Nintendo 3DSs, and I had a DS during that time, the same color as the one that I just showed you. I want to bring back the nostalgia. I wanna just like go back to my past life where it was just mostly playing games and all that stuff. No worries, no cares. Just play Pokemon, man. We'll be going back. We'll be going back.